Today we have an exciting topic to cover. I was browsing through Amazon and look at what I found. A Marwadi trapped in a Sardar body. And who has written it? None other than Hardeep Singh. And we have with us Hardeep. Hardeep, how are you doing there in Calcutta?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All good here, Roshan.
Great.
Calcutta is fine. Everything is good. God
And
has been kind.
that's wonderful. And I really want to ask a few questions of you today about this book because it's the first
Sure.
time I've seen something like this. Marwadi trapped in a Sardar body. I mean, what inspired you to write a book like this?
Okay. The first step is what inspired me to write the book, because I know that I have limitations in my vocabulary. I am not even any percentage in the decimals of Shashi Tharoor, and not certainly as lucid as you are, Roshan. But yes, during the COVID time, we had enough time at our disposal, each one of us, and we were doing all kinds of things, including the house cleaning. And the out came the pictures of my trip with the advertising club people to Cannes, and my trip, various pictures with Mr. KP Singh, the DLF doyen, and the various things. And I thought to myself, I said, hey, I have got so much of treasure of knowledge here. Why don't I write an autobiography? I mulled over this point with a few people, and they said ki autobiography or biographies are okay for actors like Rishi Kapoor or like big industrialists. You have got a lot of experience of building up a small company to a large company with various kind of the strategies and the tactics, and this is what the startups of the today need. They need not start with their thinking that what is Apple doing, and Apple should be doing this, and I should do that, I should have the packaging like Apple, but they must learn the ropes from you. So I said, okay, here I am. I will write a book which would be 20% my journey of life, but largely of the various strategic tactics, product developments, how the Me Too products have not to be taken out, how the cultural fit has to be there of the team, etc. etc. So I started writing. But that was COVID. Now, in between, there was a little bit of the difficult time in my family. My sister went into illness, and I lost my motivation. Mid of last year, I picked up again and I said, hey, let me complete this. So here it is.
Great. And I laughed when I read the title. Marwadi trapped in a Sardar body. And it was typical Hardeep vintage mischief. I mean, it had to get a smile onto anybody who reads the title. And of course, the cartoons that have been drawn. So tell me, what made you choose such a title?
Okay, this was again COVID. Prahlad Kakkar, the famous ad guru and the ad filmmaker, you know it very well, and everybody knows him. He is, if I am a mischief number one, he is mischief number 10. So I was having a podcast with him, rather not podcast, but conversation on the Facebook Live, and it was a 1.5 year hilarious conversation during the COVID, and he kept on needling me. तू तो मारवाड़ी हो गया, तू तो मारवाड़ी हो गया. The only thing not a मारवाड़ी in you is that you are not a penny pincher. I said, यार ये किसी को बोलना नहीं. So he says, I'll tell you. You are writing a book? I said, yes, I am writing a book. Why don't you title it to Marwadi trapped in a Sardar body? So I had two objections. I said, trapped is not the right word. Trapped is a very devious word. He said, that is the catch, buddy. Trapped is only a hook to get the people around. So what happened was that he kept on insisting me and motivating me, and somehow it came to my heart that yes, this is my personality of the title. He is talking to me as a friend. He has given me a link and a hint, and I must follow this. And believe you me, There were a lot of people, lot of friends who came to know of this title, and they said, "Nahi, nahi, this is not correct. This is not a management book. This will not be management book." I'm glad it is there, and I'm glad that you like it. And with the sense of humor that you have, I know you for a long time. The wit you have, I think it's good, doing good. It's doing good on Amazon, which is very good, and
Wonderful.
people are liking it.
Wonderful. We need books like this for our sales group. They don't read much, and a book like yours is very, very interesting to read because it talks of real things that we see. So let me talk about your career. Did you choose to be a salesperson or did sales choose you? Because you are an engineer with a background, a very amazing career in your education. And how did you go into selling fans?
Good question. Neither I chose sales nor sales chose me. I worked for a company called American Universal. I was a design engineer. I designed all the air conditioning motors, fractional horsepower motors. I must say, uh, in modesty around, that I was a very good design engineer. So Mr. KP Singh, who's very well known DLF Universal in Delhi, the DLF Doyen, he was a great mentor. He told me, he says, "You come from a middle class family, you are a great engineer. At best in life, you will be a technical director of a company. I want to see you as the managing director and chairman of a large organization, for which you need to know marketing first, advertising also, and then selling. And that is, thereafter will come the issue of finance." So he put me on to somebody in Bombay, very well known names. And Ravi Gupta was the branch manager there, who later on founded Trikaya Gray. And I had some wonderful experience of the advertising agency running, the marketing, and it helped me a lot. It opened new vistas of thinking in me. And then he called me to Delhi. Then I was the regional manager in Delhi for sales. And what I realized was that whatever I have learnt in the advertising and marketing, when I would go to a dealer shop, I would find that the marketing collaterals were different on the boardroom, and they were not effective and they were not implementable at times. Let's say the dealer board has got a huge expense and there's only a little bit of the brand name. It looks very good on the paper, on the boardroom, but out there in the field, it was not looking workable. So I started meddling into the marketing through the sales and telling them, "Ye wala theek nahi hai, this collateral is not all right, this poster is not all right, this color scheme will not work, etc., etc." So the marriage between the sales and the. Then I came to Calcutta. So neither I chose sales nor I chose marketing, or not the sales chose me. I think it was just incidental, and my thanks to profuse thanks to Mr. KP Singh. God bless him. He is 92, 93, 94, and doing well. That is what it is. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. Because, when I was reading your book, I found that you were actually also quite a spiritual person. Because the way you talked about, what your religion talks, values, and how. So I had a feeling that, you know, your beliefs, which are religious, did it in any way come in the way of doing a job the way sales has to be done?
good question, very good question, Roshan. I am not a deeply committed religious person. That is my wife. It is not that I go to Gurdwara or my temples and every now and then here and there. We have, of course, our holy book at our home. My wife services that. But there are certain elements of the Sikh religion which I have really imbibed in me and which I think are very, very useful and which have, in fact, helped me not come in my way. To give you an example, now we must not lead a life full of lies. We should lead a life. It is not truth which is important, it is the living the life of a truth. And I have always believed that a salesperson should never speak lies. Either he should speak the truth or he should circumvent with his discussion to another thing. Because once you speak a lie, you are bound to be exposed sooner or later. And I've seen that when I joined the company as a general manager and then president and managing director, there are some of the things that I used to teach them. One of them was this, कि आप झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे, जो
That's
बोलेंगे वो सच बोलेंगे, नहीं तो आप उसको कन्वर्ट कर लीजिए. Then people used to ask me, the boys used to ask me, sir, how can I say, if he is saying me, have you given this fan 100 fans to the other dealer? I said, you must find out what is the strength of your character. If you have humor in you, try to have humor and finish it off. Don't say that I will not tell you the truth. I will not tell you. I know it, but I will not tell you. Find an easy way out. And I gave them various examples, and it worked. I'm just saying. The second thing was, we have in Sikh religion Sarbat ka bhala. That is, may everybody
I
prosper.
I was really
Now,
impressed with that statement.
I made sure that my vendors prospered. I made sure that my salespeople and my team prospered. I made sure that the policies were such that there was no shortchanging to the dealers and customers. Believe you me, I have even today a WhatsApp group, a very large WhatsApp group. They started saying that, fans of Hardeep Singh, but I cut it out. I said, ऐसा नहीं करते हैं. And really speaking, there may have been half a dozen experiences which were not very good in my life when I spoke truth, but I would not speak a truth which would hurt others. I will keep silent and I will transfer with my humor to another subject. So, the tenets of Sikh religion, Sarbat Ka Bhala, speaking truthfulness, helping others, and a very interesting thing is there. We have a Hindi proverb also, if you permit me to speak, कि नेकी करो दरिया में डाल. Now there are a lot of religions which are transactional, that you do good and goodness will come to you. No, you do good and forget it. Things will happen. The
That,
destiny will take you. If you are rewarded, it is very fine. So that is what is in the Sikh religion. And I have never been betrayed by people. Maybe in the journey of life, 100 to maybe 10, 15 people may have betrayed. It is okay,
yeah,
but
it's part
it
of
has
part
helped
of
me.
life.
It's a part of life, and the good thing is, 2 out of them 10 came back to me later in life and said, "Boss, हमारी गलती थी." But that's enough. Anyway, the tenets helped me. It is a question, Roshan, you know it better. It is not only following the scriptures, it is following the essentials of those things which are good for the humanity and human beings.
I think, see, one of the things worried me about salespeople is that we are considered as not people whose word can be trusted. And I think what you're saying is so important. I wish more people realize that you'll do more business if you are very clear about the truth and not having to make all kinds of stories and lies about things and looking so miserable at the
Absolutely.
end of it. So I'm
Absolutely.
I'm happy to hear that
So
from you because
one more thing, if you permit me to say, at the time of the interviews and at the time of the appraisals, I used to be very particular, while this was not there in the sheet, to assess whether this person is a untruthful person or a truthful person. Two, how does he deal with his parents and the family as well as the others, because that would give me the inclination of networking. And I would be very clear in my mind that if there is some person who has spoken lies, even in the TA bills, he would not be with me, because जब का मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं कि उसकी धरातल क्या है, वो ट्रुथफुलनेस में है कि नहीं है. वो एक जगह अनट्रुथ होगा तो he will be untruthful at multiple places given the when he gets the opportunity. So for me, filtering was very important right from day one.
you know uh, I spent many years in Calcutta, and that's when we got to know each other so
Yeah.
well. And honestly, if you say Polar in Calcutta, they mean Hardeep Singh. How did you come to be associated so strongly with your brand?
I will give a lot of credit to our owners, Mr. Sajjan Agarwal, who was the founder. He died somewhere in mid 2000s at a very young age of 54. Then Anil Agarwal. They gave me all the liberties and all this. They gave me the liberties because I was running the show as far as the vendors are concerned, as far as the product development is concerned, which has been my passion all through. Then, as far as the advertising and communication is concerned, then steering the sales and all that, and developing the people. So I would do various things. Like a very interesting thing I did, which is out of the context of this room question, but nonetheless, I did a DOT program, Dealers of Tomorrow.
Ah,
Now, this DOT program was this, that the next generation of the dealers are normally spoiled people. They have not got the, I'm talking of 80s and 90s and 2000, your distributors also. The next breed, they do not know how to deal with the principals, how to talk to them. The moment they will meet the principals, they will say, आपकी ये चीज नहीं, आपकी बैटरी खराब है, आपका पंखे में ये खराब है. And they would not know anything about this. गल्ले से पैसा निकाला, जाके बियर पी लिए. So I must have trained about 100 people as a DOT, Dealers of Tomorrow, separately in English for South India and Western India, separately for Hindi in the North India belt. I would call them for 7 days, and I would put them in some, marriage home or something, lesser variety. Coming back and going was always by train, which their fathers paid, and I would have a 7 day session, which I would instill. I would give them various things: how to deal with the principal, how to do marketing, how to have the merchandising done, how to talk, and also instill in them a steroid injection of polar, 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 because I was wanting to have the benefit of the polar for long term. Roshan, it has worked wonderfully well. The next generation today is prospering. They are all in touch, and they are all beneficiaries.
this is
So
really far thinking.
now all these collaterals also helped in understanding people that who is running the show. That is me. That is how it happened, and God has been kind. God was kind.
And who chose this word polar?
No, this is an old brand with an old one. This was not my choice. This was a small company which was taken over in 1976 or 77 by Mr. Sajjan Agarwal. And I only tweaked the logos and the baselines and took it off from there. And that's what it is.
But honestly, it's a nice brand name because it talks about being cold, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
whoever chose it had a good mind on the
Yes, yes. There
future.
is a gentleman, God bless him, his soul. I am in touch with his great grandson, Kothari, Mr. Kothari. But anyway, that's another
Great.
story.
Well, because I was so much in Calcutta, I also got to know that all your strength didn't come from yourself. And I was able to meet your lovely wife, Bilan, and I know that you're given quite a lot of credit to her in your book. What was the force that she gave you? I mean, what was the strength that she stood for you?
Okay, good. I am very glad that you touched on this soft point. He deserves all the credit and much more. The reason is I have always been a very aggressive person, a little short tempered, and not little but lot of short temper in me also, and always in a rush. And like you have been doing, the dealer get togethers are always on Sundays. So out of 52 Sundays, the dealer get togethers, I would travel about 20-25 days in a month. And I had no idea and no clue of the money in finances, personal finances. She told me those were the days that we were building up not only our careers, our homes, but also our infrastructure. कि गाड़ी भी लेनी है, कार भी लेनी है, घर भी लेना है, etc., etc. So she was a great mix of three elements: compassion, adding to my passion, and taking care of the children and keeping quiet when it was required. I think she had these three qualities She would keep quiet when I would be losing my shirt or whatever temper. And later on, she would tell me, she will say, let's go and have a dinner, just two of us, to Bengal Club. And I was never a big drinker, but okay, have a small drink and let me know. And she would softly tell me what are the negatives, and I would absorb them all. And she would take care of the family. And she understood that these are the tenets that he has, speaking, no speaking lies or taking care of the children. So I think she deserves. One interesting thing I must tell you, because I was traveling 20 to 25 days in a month, hence I saw very little of her during the time when we were growing and we were still in our 40s and 50s. That has helped very much to us in this time when the children are away to New York, because now we are rediscovering each other, which we should have done at the age of 40. So while other people in the 65 70 age group, they become tired of their spouses, we are having a rekindled life. This is the
Ah,
benefit of that.
I'll be worried about that, huh? So let me ask you a question. Your daughter Kamna,
Yeah.
if she came to you and said, Dad, I want to take up sales as a career,
Mhm.
what would be your advice?
Oh, she's not cut for this. She's a very cut, and she's a head of some global audit company in a Fortune 500 company in USA. And I tell her, I said, you need to be chamfering yourself. She is auditor, you know that.
Hmm.
Cut. Even when she was in school and college, I trained her up with some other Marwadi industrialist children, and I found that if the dealer or the buyer would not agree with her, you know she'll say, okay, I'll leave her. Whereas persistence is what is required. My son is a very good salesperson. There is no doubt. I think my genes have transferred to my son, and I mean, he is doing well. God bless him. He's managing director of Accenture in New York. But
Wow.
he is a good salesman. He's a good salesman. I mean, he can sell. What do they say? Ice to Eskimos also. That's
Man.
okay. But he is also taken. He's all the 5, 6 tenets that I had of truthfulness and all that. Roshan, I'm so happy that they have imbibed in themselves.
Very good. That's very satisfying. So, I have this one question which is for a lot of salespeople or people considering sales. In our time, it was impossible to do business without sales. Today, we have enough examples of companies who don't have a single salesperson.
Yes, yes, yes,
What do
yes.
you think is the future of selling as such?
There is a lot of change in the landscape of salespeople. There's no doubt. A minute for the earlier times. One, you would run after the credit. One would run after the relationships with the dealers. A lot of time would be wasted on that. Relationships had become very important. Jhoot sach bhi tha, whatever, whether we spoke or not is another issue. Then there was also the issue that most of the companies which came next would come with Me Too products. Then the discount and the pricing was the issue. Then the commitments of the sales team to the dealers was the issue. And if the salesperson leaves, there would be problem with the credit notes and all that. That is all a question of the past. And today, thanks to the digital medium priming up the entire scope, the new startups are not keen for Me Too products. Everybody wants a niche to be themselves. Salespeople, the credit is not the issue because today credits are very controlled and hardly there. So the salesmen are having lesser tenure. Earlier, ever ready, somebody joins, he'll join for 20 years, 30 years in Polar also. Today they join and they keep on changing. So there's no aberrations of the relationships with the dealers and the other things. And it is a question of but what are requirements? The requirements are that the product knowledge has to be very, very good available. The modern tools have to be very correctly used. as to what are the various things happening in the marketplace, what are the trends which are there. Extrapolation of the past is not the answer. New trends are emerging. So anybody who's having into this extrapolation ke kal ye hua tha ab ye ho jayega, that is not the issue. And the personal connect which is getting lost right now has to be replaced by the salespeople. Salespeople will continue to be flourishing, but they will have to have different traits and different positives and different ways of selling. That is the only thing. There will be less 24-hour salespeople like us in the past. So I guess the salespeople will be required. The traits will have to be defined, and those traits have to be there. And the companies don't have to worry कि एक आया दूसरा चला गया नहीं चला गया, because the aberrations would not be there in the marketplace or with the dealers or with the customers or the clients. No longer it is going to happen that the client will shift immediately from one brand to another brand just because person A and B has left. And there, the dealers and the clients have also become savvy to say okay, we don't have to ride piggyback on person A only. So salespeople will be required. Traits are different. I think we'll discuss one of these days. This is a subject which you are best at, and I want to know about it because I want to be a trainer in certain traits of these to the people in future. So
Wonderful.
let's not write off the obituary of the salespeople. There
Uh,
is there.
Very good. I want to thank you, Hardeep. As always,
Before
it's
you
a,
before you close, Roshan, I just want to touch a small little point which
yeah.
may have escaped your attention or which may not have. When I was writing this book, I
Mm,
had two options, either to write in chronology, right from the time and all that, or to write in a manner like Times of India has, which has the single column, double column, anecdotes,
mm,
experiences, different fonts, and in a potpourri kind of a way. I realized that today's, I did a little bit of the dipstick study and found that today guys don't have, if they start a, it's a fiction, it's a story, romantic story, they will start and end. But what they want to know is बेड टाइम एक दो पन्ने पढ़ते हैं, एक उनको देखा अरे दिस इज ऑल राइट, so they will like to read one page or two page and absorb and enjoy, and if they write that like that chapter they will read it. So and at the tail end of the every chapter I made sure that there is a bridging line which is
Connecting line.
bridging, connecting to another one. And also I made sure that the fonts are different, some bold and everything put together, some pictures are put in between. I'm very happy to say that there has been a very very positive kind of a reflection and response on this. I just thought I'll touch that
Thank you
because
so
that's a part of the creativity which I think I have not seen in very many books.
much. I like that. In fact, the whole book was kind of put together in a very different manner. And you put in advertisements that came early. And in fact, I had not seen that Khaitan advertisement that you spoke about in the book. But
Buy a Katan fan and take buy a polar fan and take rupees 5,000 from Katan. I mean, those were bold, aggressive days anyway.
anyway, we thank you for your time here, and we wish you all success and your sweet happiness with your dear wife. Okay, all the best.
Thank you very much and all the very best to you and your family. And
Thank
God bless. We'll see you
thank
soon.
thank you.
God bless. Thank you very much for calling me.